Hola, bitches. Hola, bitches. Audio is slaying. We are fine. I am so sorry. That's where we're gonna start this. I literally streamed almost the entire Fontanalia Film Festival, but I just ran out of time on the last day and couldn't finish the last little bit. And I was like, okay, I'll finish it on another stream. Entirely forgot about it. It's another update now. I've not
The
streamed
assumption that every person has
for
somewhere to
over
call
a
home
month.
is naive.
My last stream was in
I got
December.
used to living in the mountains alongside the birds and beasts a long time ago.
I skipped a month of streaming, guys. I'm so sorry. I told myself I'd stream at least once a month. It would have taken nothing out of me to stream that quest. That is completely on me, and I am so sorry. I, however, did play the bug quest. I probably should have streamed that, to be honest, because it was voiced, but barely. And I also, the story was not that interesting, respectfully. So, Anyway, I have both of the new skins. Everyone's talking about how they prefer Shenhua's, and I think it is beautiful. It's gorgeous, truly, but I vastly prefer Ganyu's. I think Ganyu's is the better of the two. Genuinely. I think it's much more diverted from her original outfit. Shenhua's is so... Her hair is very unique and very different, and I like that. And her outfit is much more formal and detailed, but it's just all black. And she already wore a lot of black in her original designs. I don't know. I like that Ganyu has a bit more blue, because in her original design, she actually doesn't have a lot of blue as a cryo character. The only sources of blue in her normal, in like her standard outfit, is really her hair. And well, no, okay, so I stand corrected. There's a lot of blue in like the little parts of her skirt, but it's I stand by my statement. It's not nearly as blue as her new outfit, and also. You'll notice this outfit is distinctly asymmetrical in many ways, as in like even the silhouette is lopsided. Here is distinctly symmetrical for the most part, except for like accessories and stuff, because Genshin Impact is always a little asymmetrical, so the little details, but the silhouette overall is perfectly symmetrical, and I think that's great, except for the tassel and the vision, which, you know, visions are exceptions, we move on. But just the outfit itself, and I really appreciate it. Also, I think her hair is a little darker in that outfit. At the very least, her hair feels a little bit more like bluish purpley. I also really like the bun.
Did I miss any of the jewelry?
This is something important. I really like the hair tassel. However, it's stabbed into her head. The hair tassel looks like it should be attached to the jewelry that's on her bun. Right, she has this really cute swirly bun, and it should be attached to the golden swirlies of jewelry there. It would have looked perfect, looked perfectly natural, just coming off of one of the little golden leaves that she has on her head. Right? Beautiful. But no. They just decided to stab it into her head, and it looks so awkward. Like, they should have just put it on the bun. Maybe they would have had to put more work into animating it, but it would have looked 10 times better. Or at the very least, commit to the bit and put it on her outfit. Put it somewhere where it makes sense instead of just, like, you know, it looks like an additional third droopy horn. From her other two. Like, it's weird looking. I don't like it. I think it's a cute idea, but they really fucked it up. Otherwise, I prefer Ganyu's skin. I will say, when I saw the trailers, I thought her skirt thing looked a lot more fluffy layered and like it was like kind of more neon and like the lighter blues were glowing, which they are not, which is very sad. But we move on. On to Cloud Retainer, which I have not gotten yet. I lost my 50-50 to Tignati, a character I do not use and is at level 40. Why?
Here we are, right outside her place. Do you still remember remember the first time we came here? We even brought offerings and everything.
That was so long
when
ago.
we told her that Rex Lapis
Like
had
3
been
years ago.
assassinated, she immediately threatened to squash Liyue Harbor. Paimon thought she'd be impossible to get along with. But now that we've spent some more time together, she's really not like that at all.
Yeah, it was really just a show. We love her. I love Cloud Retainer. But it's so funny. I'm sorry. That was so long ago. I remember hating her at the time.
We probably don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty well, right? Still, Paimon's got some snacks around here somewhere, so if she really wants something, we can just use that. Huh? Traveler, did something catch your eye?
Wow, I don't think we've ever seen her before.
Whoa, what a pretty lady.
Truly.
Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer?
She's very pretty. Respectful. I'm sorry, but look at her. Like, oh my goodness. Seems like she could also be a powerful
you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special. As expected of that bird lady, really. She must have a whole bunch of Adepti friends from all over the country. Okay, but if we're both friends of Cloud Retainer, then we're basically friends by association, right? Want to go up to her and say hello?
Who knew you were such a social butterfly, Paimon?
Helping you make more connections is a part of Paimon's job as your reliable guide. Paimon's got this.
Okay, Paimon.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Paimon is Paimon!
Madame?
And this is the Traveler.
Just say everything in a nice, even tone.
Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're also friends of Cloud Retainer. May we have the pleasure of learning your name, Madam Adeptus?
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has the shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one anymore?
Wait, you're...
Cloud Retainer?
Huh? You're the illuminated bird? But you look... human! How did that happen?
I'm sorry if my fan is too loud. I need the noise to focus.
Is scarcely
But
any
I'm like
test of
adjusting it.
abilities.
It was once.
As for your confusion, one merely had no reason to indulge such inclinations before.
So, you're indulging now because?
Basically. I would like it to be louder, but I don't want to affect the stream. So, we'll see.
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor. Taking on a human form for such a trip is simply a way to make matters less conspicuous.
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place. In fact, Paimon can think of several examples. Like last year, when you suddenly appeared on the top of a roof without any warning. Or...
And discuss them too openly. That's alright. You almost forgot Paimon brought you some gifts.
Didn't we agree not to bring that up unless she asked?
Oh, shut up.
So you have taken care to follow the proper rules of etiquette after all. Most commendable.
Well, this is all Paimon's got. You don't mind, right?
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts. On the contrary, it is the gesture that one values above all else. So long as you've shown proper respect and consideration, the quantity or quality of the gift is but a trivial matter.
I agree. Her voice sounds different. I preferred Cloud Retainer's original, more booming voice. Even in a human form, I want her to sound like Cloud Retainer.
That kinda makes Paimon feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself. Anyway, where were we before you reminded Paimon about the gifts?
Cloud Retainer said she's gonna visit some of her disciples.
Right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe. It's also been a while since we last saw them. Maybe we can come too.
One planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Xianyun and Ganyu should be quite pleased to see you again. However, one would first inquire as to the reason behind your visit here. You have cause to seek one's company?
No reason in particular.
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing. We were hoping you'd tell us one of your stories. Who knew we'd run into your human form while we were at it?
Is that so? If there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu is likely still working at Yue High Pavilion, so that shall be our first stop.
I
Sounds
forgot
great.
to
Then let's
apply
all go
lotion
to
after
Liyue
my
Harbor.
shower, so I'm just doing it right now. Just on my arms and hands and stuff. 1,000 moonlit miles.
Ganyu has been quite busy with work as of late. One can count on one talon the number of times she returns to Mount Outsong each year. Shanaha has also secured employment recently. In her correspondence with me, she wrote that she shall have no need to return for the foreseeable future. Did they think one was so easily mollified? One shall investigate everything with one's own eyes, and decide for oneself if their living conditions are satisfactory.
I love that. She's such a slag. She's me. I don't trust you to take care of yourself. Also, I miss you, but I'm not gonna say that out loud. Me. Absolutely me. It's like, you don't need to know that I care about your presence, but I'm still going to, like, do all the things that show that I do. You know? Like a very normal, well-adjusted individual. Sorry, taking my time here. I'm doing like my little night routine while I'm doing this. It's been a while. I have not had a lot of time. I've been very busy and very tired. Woo! Pretty light. Sorry. I'm very simply motivated. Pretty light. It's a pretty light. Look at the pretty light. Monument, seek ye first the monuments in the mountains, and only then return to Lark here. Any who earnestly seeks to resolve my perplexion should seek the first monuments in the mountain and view them in order. What? This is the last one. I don't know what you expect me to do there, babes. Did I miss these things? Look, I know I've never been one to explore Mount Aosong. But jeez, I didn't realize it was that fucking stupid. I've never, like, viciously explored Mount Aosong. I just kind of enjoyed its vibes. I didn't realize there was so much I missed. Jeez. This, mostly, is what appalls me. This is so obvious. And it's so easy.
Rest and rebuild.
See, something I do not understand is how sometimes...
Surprise! Over here. Let the magic begin.
See, this might not be the best thing to do.
Transfiguration. My will. Allow me. Surprise! Over here. No touching. There's nothing wrong with reaping a reward every now and then.
I agree, Ganyu. I agree. Continuing forward. Where does the quest go? Is this where the busy person was? There was someone that was considered busy for Baiju's quest, and I had to do a little bit of it. I do not like Baiju enough to want to do his quest. Well, like, respectfully, I do not give a shit about that man. I have zero interest. See? Okay, this intrigues me. So, we have this main area of Yuahai Pavilion, which I want to be able to go inside here. Because I want to see what all these floors are. But then there's these extra rooms extending from it. And I'm like, I want to see what's in all of that. I want to, that looks like...
We're almost at Weihai Pavilion.
Like, I feel like
Hey,
both
do you
Ganyu
think
and
will be
Xianyun,
shocked
like,
to see
fully
Cloud
live
Retainer
there.
like this? Guess we have no idea Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before.
I'm gonna assume Ganyu has. I don't know about
Wait,
Shenhe.
where did she go?
Shenhe. I assume Shenhe has... Shenhe. Sorry. Got it. Shenhe has, because how else would Cloud Retainer teach her to fight with a polearm? Unless she knew how to fight with a polearm. Wait, where did she go? She's back there.
Why are you just standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Quietly now. One shall stay here. You two can go and meet with her.
But why? Isn't it better if we all go together?
If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop everything to attend to one's visit. One fears that would only result in her staying up all night to make up for lost time. One does not wish to trouble her. Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice. Do remember to inquire as to her recent well-being. Again, do not mention one's presence here.
Fair enough. Makes sense. Alright then, we'll just pass on your regards and...
Cloud Retainer?
Oh no.
Ugh.
Oh! Busted.
Is that lady someone you know, Ms. Ganyu?
Her. I do not know how she was busied in Baiju's quest, because I did not interact with her once, but she was.
She is indeed. I'm sorry, Huixin, but could we delay the upcoming meeting for a little bit? I believe my schedule today is quite full. Although, perhaps I could move some work to later in the evening.
Oh, not to worry, Miss Ganyu. I'll make the necessary arrangements right away.
So
Thank
kind.
you, Huixin.
We haven't seen Ganyu and Shenhe in so long. This is so exciting.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Greetings. What brings you here today? And Cloud Retainer, too. It's been quite some time since I last saw you in this form.
You are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer of whom you speak. One
Girl.
is simply a mere mortal passerby.
First of all, you're just lying. You're clearly Cloud Retainer. She's been alive for a very similar time that you have. And also, you are talking like an adeptus.
Seems she's not buying it.
Ganyu saw right through her.
That was but a simple test. One did not expect you to be able to recognize one so easily, especially after so many years of only seeing one's other form.
Ganyu looks totally bewildered. She's thinking, why wouldn't I recognize you? I used to see you every day. How bad do you think my memory is?
But recognizing you is, my responsibility as your disciple.
An apt observation. One was simply passing by while attending to some important business. One thought it would only be fitting to pay you a visit while in the area.
Wait, Paimon wasn't aware of any important...
Paimon, you're...
Cloud Retainer's right! We've still got something super important to do, so we can't stay here for too long today.
Oh, is that so? But it's been so long since we last saw each other.
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work. A quick conversation should suffice for today. A more involved reunion should wait until you find yourself less occupied.
I understand. That should be fine.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day, one must also remind you to rest. Though Adepti blood flows through your veins, excessive exhaustion will still cause grave harm to your body.
Exactly. Rest
Still
is
makes
important.
one nostalgic to see you as you are now, respected and independent. When you were young, you oft begged one to cuddle you to sleep when you suffered from nightmares.
Cloud Retainer! Stop!
Not embarrassing.
If you insist. We are running short on time regardless, so one will refrain from going into each and every story. Why don't you continue your conversation? One shall simply stand by and listen.
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the last time we spoke. If you ever need anything, please just come find me at High Pavilion.
I love her. I also just, oh my goodness. I literally, I can't. It's been so long. It's been so long since we've been in Liyue and explored Liyue and like interacted with the place and its people. And so it's just so nice
Also,
to see all of these,
forgive me
like,
for my
precious little
presumptuousness,
angels,
Cloud
like my
Retainer.
babies.
But if you plan to continue appearing in this form, don't you think it'd be helpful to adopt a human name?
A human name? Huh. You raise a valid point. Considering the sheer extent of one's renown, Cloud Retainer is surely too recognizable as a name.
Yeah.
You really think so? Not that you're not famous or anything, but that famous?
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements.
Sorry, I
One
need to
would
adjust the
hardly
mic.
think such a thing to be possible. Nevertheless, Ganyu's advice cannot be ignored. From this point on, when in public occasions, be sure to refer to one as Xianyun.
Xianyun? Xianyun.
Ah, I assume that's a reference to the full record of Pristine Pavilion. An adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon. They were enlightened and wise, free and unfettered. The writer referenced Master's name to describe her carefree and spontaneous nature.
Oh, that sounds super cool! Paimon feels like only the most powerful of Adepti could rise with the clouds and rest with the moon.
Yay.
Actually, those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wait, so you're really that powerful?
And what of it? Did you truly take one to be nothing more than a bird of bigger than average size?
That's hilarious.
Not exactly.
That's totally what Paimon had in
To
mind.
be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. The tales of her past can only be found in ancient texts. It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue. Left with no choice, many people left their homes, while others spent day and night praying to the Adepti. Although I did not live through such tragedy, simply reading about it is enough to gain a visceral understanding of all the pain and desperation during that time. On top of the drought, a noxious gas also began to spread through the land. If not for Cloud Retainer's efforts, much of Liyue would be nothing more than a barren wasteland today. The books had this to say about what happened. Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind to retain the clouds. Immediately, the clouds gathered together, and abundant rain burst forth from the heavens. Drought and plague were both driven away, and the people were saved.
Wow. That's incredible!
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events. One did merely what one ought, and even if one had not interceded, the other Adepti would surely have stepped in to help.
Even so, you stopped an entire drought! Can you really control the weather like the book said? Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you. So it was Paimon's bad for calling you Illuminated Bird before. You're not too mad, are you?
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we carry with us on our journey through the world. Why would one be offended by such a trivial matter?
That's a relief. In that case, Paimon will continue to call you whatever feels right in the moment.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe? One has heard that she procured a job recently. Have you any
Ooh.
thoughts on her workplace?
Where does she work?
And what, pray tell, of her monthly remuneration? Moreover, does she find herself overly inundated with work? Is she allowed time off during Lantern Rite?
That is a lot of questions.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. I introduced Shenhe to her employer personally. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been booming recently. So, with Chef Mao being swamped with customers, and Shangling still off and out in search of new recipes, I introduced Shenhe to staff the restaurant.
I see. Most excellent indeed. One has had the pleasure of being introduced to that family. Shangling is kind and astute, while her father is loyal and reliable. One has no cause to believe that they will make Shenhe's work difficult. Now, it is almost time to partake in the victuals of noon. One shall visit Wanmin Restaurant in person and see how Shenhe is doing.
Huh? But didn't you just say that you had something important to do?
Shut up.
Can that wait until after we've eaten?
You may return to your work, Ganyu. One shall see to this matter on one's own. There will be many an occasion to dine together in the future. One is certain the opportunity shall present itself most readily.
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler, Paimon, I'll see you some other time.
See you around, Ganyu!
I appreciate that Xianyun
Paimon was pretty quick on the uptake there, don't you think? As soon as you mentioned important business to attend to, Paimon realized that you were just looking to cut the conversation short and not take too much of Ganyu's time. Is Paimon right?
No, in fact, it was not an excuse. One is indeed visiting Liyue Harbor for an important purpose.
Wait, for real?
The moment is not yet upon us. Still, the truth will be revealed to you in time.
Huh. She really seems to be playing up the whole mysterious Adeptus thing right now. Is it because we just heard that cool story about her powers?
Maybe. The world may never know. One thing I do like about Cloud Retainer is that she does break the habit of many of the female characters in this game being very much like workaholic. She enjoys engineering and working on that, but it's not work, it's her hobby. And she is very specific about like taking time for herself and resting and not focusing on past accomplishments, and like, you know, she's a little bit more carefree and enjoying life, and she cares about people and always reminds Ganyu and Shenhe
We're
to
way
rest.
behind schedule.
And I think it's very nice. Hey, sweetie, how you doing? Slay.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, how can I not? Not even fine food is enough to distract from the presence of a fine lady, huh?
Do not creep on her.
I'm
She
far
will
more
kill you.
interested in
So
getting
we'll
her
cloud her
details than ordering any dishes. Hey, how about you ask her?
You do it.
No.
They're
I think
really
you
trying to flirt with her.
She's coming.
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you'd be willing to...
How many times has this happened?
What would
for?
you like to order?
2 servings of more meat to go. Good chat. Bye.
I wouldn't be scared of her. She slays.
Welcome.
I'd be like,
It's
hey
been
girl,
a while.
we
May I
should
take your
buy
order?
more. You slay. Let's be besties. I don't know. I'd want to be best friends with her.
Friends in the same line. It's weird.
It's been a while, Shenhe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is?
This is Miss Xianyun.
Master?
Huh?
Huh,
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before. How were you able to ascertain one's true identity with such ease?
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. I would recognize you no matter what form you take.
You...
That's so cute! I love it!
Is something the matter,
It's a
Master?
heartwarming moment.
Hardly. Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter and came to check on your well-being.
And check out the great food, too!
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies. I'm still on the clock and can't talk for very long.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler in Paimon, are you here for Shenhe? The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe. So I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down and enjoy some time with your friends. I'll let you know if things pick up.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
Sit and chat. I love that her, like, actual thing is called Leisurely Chatter because, you know, we chatter. Oh, how have I never seen this before? I always knew Wanmin Restaurant was a restaurant, but I didn't know there were tables back here. I just don't look behind buildings very often. I tend to just look at the front, so I forget that, like, behind the buildings is also part of the buildings. You know?
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and accommodating human. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
I love
Seems
her.
like you've been making progress. So by dealing with them, you mean...
Simply intimidating them, I assume.
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil conversation.
Oh, how should Paimon put this?
Sounds reasonable enough.
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Oh, just as expected of Master.
What she actually means to say is she actually misses the two of you a lot.
I have missed Master quite a bit too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've already had a conversation with Chef Mao about taking some time off soon to visit Master.
Oh, you did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future. There's hardly a need to keep one in suspense.
Whoa, her mood shot up just like that.
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Ganyu?
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work. There was time only to exchange a few simple pleasantries.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe this to be a good topic of conversation.
I agree. Especially the amount she decides to say about Shenhe and Ganyu's past
No,
unsolicited.
not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
I love that. I love
Master
her.
once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge in such a contest. In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest.
Huh, what kind of device was it?
Yeah.
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again? Oh, an electro-powered bicycle?
Did she? You're kidding! Did Cloud Retainer literally make a motorcycle? Cloud Retainer should literally just be in Liyue Harbor. If Cloud Retainer was in Liyue Harbor, she would literally be innovating the world. Imagine if common society in Teyvat had motorcycles and like the little like phone controller she has for her little popcorn machine.
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands of miles in one day. Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Though he sprinted with all his might, he could barely keep up. Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch. Truly a most unfortunate turn of events. Anyway, do go on, Shenhe.
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? Huh. With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another contest. What is a race without spectators, after all?
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? Huh. At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musings can span several days and nights. 'Tis a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous.
So, yes. The answer is yes. The answer is very much yes, yes, yes.
What is the reason for that
lonely.
look upon your face?
It's nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. But all it took was a few words out of your mouth and it's like you're back to being that illuminated bird again. I was just a little bit confused. Which one of the two is the real Cloud Retainer?
To me, they are both, Master. One is the Master that's widely revered by the people, while the other is the Master that I respect and adore.
I love her.
One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery of a most extravagant nature. You chose to exalt one with your words, yet you refuse to grace Mount Outsong with your presence for any extended period of time. One would almost question the sincerity of your estimations. This is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases. Others may critique or praise as they see fit, yet one places little weight in such judgments.
See, that is such a healthy attitude. I wish I lived like that.
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple? And it's as if her ego is about to burst.
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another fish stew?
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
Alright, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
Mm-hmm. I'll try my best.
I love her. Paimon's the
So much
best.
yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
Leave some room for us to feast. Is the food to your taste, Cloud Retainer?
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied. In fact, one has been struck by quite the fit of inspiration. One has already begun to conceptualize the next generation of supreme cuisine machines.
I love her.
Everything's so tasty! A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny?
But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here? My poor legs can't go on for much longer.
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy to share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around. Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left, so...
Ah, well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys?
I don't mind either. As long as you don't mind our job.
Great! Thanks so much. My name is Xianyun, and this is my granny, Yuendai.
Granny?
Yep. Is there something wrong with that?
No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. She looks so young.
Yeah. A lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears. Granny? Why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's not polite to stare.
Oh, have we met before? No. 'Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a rainstorm.
No, not this again. Granny, there's no braised earthworms on the menu.
Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people actually eat that?
Can't hurt
Right,
to
that's
ask.
what Paimon was thinking too. Need any help?
Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time. She's always saying things that sound kinda confusing.
Oh, poor baby, dealing with dementia that young. I was lucky enough that my parents they handled most of that in relation to one of my grandparents. I'm not gonna go into trauma dumping right now, but one of my grandparents had dementia before they died. One of my grandmother on my dad's side. Very, very sad. I'm not gonna talk about it because I feel like I'm gonna cry, so we're gonna move on.
Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning.
What about your parents?
They died young. It's just me and Granny now.
Oh, poor child. Oh my god, honey. Babes, girl. Oh, sweetie, that has to be so hard.
Oh,
how do you make a living?
But it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got.
Oh, I love her positive attitude.
You're really tough for your age, kid.
She is. She's lame.
You're too kind.
No, we're just right there.
And me? Oh, what about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Oh.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. Wait, what was that really important thing again? I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark. Someone was standing in front of me. She told me to come and find her, and that once I'd found her, I would be free.
Huh? That sounds super important. But how come you've never told me about it before?
It was just a dream, so I forgot about it. But I'm in a good mood now, and somehow I remembered it again. You know, I believe I've had this dream a great many times. But just how many times have I had it? Now that I do not remember.
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Oh, does that mean you're possessed?
Don't get weird, Paimon. Be
Unlikely.
respectful.
Her eyes are clear and her breathing remains calm and level. One sees no signs of possession.
Are you sure?
Very.
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I not an expert?
Huh, you're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me. But not as I am now. My younger self.
Interesting.
A younger version of Granny?
This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said,
I agree,
fate
Paimon.
must
This
have
is
brought us
strange.
together. You may leave the situation to me.
Are you sure? So, what are your names?
Paimon's Paima.
I'm Riva.
Just Xianyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but, how do you want us to pay you back?
Oh, we don't need any payment for this.
We're just curious about your situation and want to help if we can.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But Miss Xianyun, what exactly can we do to help out this Granny?
Yeah, I can't really think of much.
Dream. Where do we start?
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once we have revisited those places, her memories will likely return.
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you remember which places you went to when you were young?
Why, of course I do. The heavens above, the earth below, the wispy clouds, and the emerald mountain streams.
Can you veil?
Taking that as a no.
I might have an idea. Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster. If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something.
A martial arts heroine? Oh, Shinto knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone knows about the heroes of the past, it's him. Let's go find him at the Feiyun Commerce Guild.
Yeah.
Are you leaving already? But I'm still hungry.
I'll go order some food, Granny. If there's nothing on the menu you especially want, I'll just get a few different things.
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Streetward Rambler? Oh, you mean Madam Ping!
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once you are ready.
Okay. Okay, so we have these two.
Where are you going, Granny? Don't you like the food?
Fresh milk. I need to buy you some fresh milk.
Milk? Why?
You need to drink milk before eating, or the spicy food will make you cry. Hush, little one. Don't cry.
Granny, you're forgetting things again. I'm not a little baby anymore. I can eat spicy food now. Even the super spicy dishes, like their fish stew. I can eat 2 whole bowls, no problem.
Wonderful. How wonderful. My darling granddaughter is all grown up.
I don't know how to feel. I'm conflicted already and we just started the quest. I'm loving this quest so far. I will say, I'm a little scared they're gonna revolve it around an NPC instead of learning more about Cloud Retainer, because I really want to learn more about Cloud Retainer in her past. But Xingqiu,
Next on the agenda.
I guess we're talking to him.
Obey!
We haven't spoken to him in a while either. Jeez. We're talking to all the people that got skins. Just have to wait till the Lantern Night, which actually might be coming out tomorrow. At least the beginning stages. I'm waiting till the 9th, or a little bit past then, to actually stream, because I want to do it. I want to do it multiple quests in one stream, preferably. It might not be possible, we'll see.
Huh. It's you two. What brings you here?
Xingqiu! Great, we found you! We wanted to ask you about something.
Yeah.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I don't know if I can say for sure.
That's fine. Anything is helpful and appreciated.
I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels.
Oh.
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits and bandit camps. The people idolized her, but never learned her name. All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng. They were well matched in more ways than one, often fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly strength.
That kind of
After the
slays.
drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. All that remained were tales of her incredible accomplishments.
That's wonderful.
The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai. I hope that's somewhat helpful.
Thanks a lot, Xingqiu. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
Yeah.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story, but it was just out of personal curiosity.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait, Xingqiu, if you've read up on her, do you know of any places often associated with her?
Yeah, give us the
Let me
deets.
think.
Come on, give me the details.
In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Xianyun Karst, and Xianyun Peak. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. That would explain why those locations appear in the various novels written about her.
What was that last
You're
place?
welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. If Miss Yuendai was indeed the original inspiration for the character, she may just be able to help me put the pieces together. It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. But no one ever saw or heard from the nameless heroine again. There were even rumors that she became extremely ill.
Yeah.
I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if she was trying to hide from something. There's probably far more to the story than what's been written.
Yeah,
We'll be
I'd
sure to
agree.
tell you if we
There
manage
always
to
is.
uncover the truth.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical than any work of fiction.
That would be
We just
interesting.
learned so much from Xingqiu. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar?
How
Oh,
do we
right!
know?
There's a drought in this story too! Xingqiu, are droughts super common in Liyue or something?
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent them, like by cultivating the soil or digging canals. So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The drought 50 years ago is probably one of the worst we've had in the last several centuries.
Oh my.
The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked,
and people who lost their homes came together to form bandit groups. What started as a natural disaster soon became a human tragedy as well.
That's scary. Yeah, that sounds like horrific.
And that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved.
Horrific.
She must have been someone
horrific.
of true integrity.
I can
to do
speak.
so much for the people while asking nothing
I
in
said
return.
I meant to say I was saying horrifying, really slow, but then I went horrific, which is just not correct. Horrifying. Jeez, I'm sorry. Words are hard.
Still, as terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land in ancient times. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the strongest of Adepti could hope to dispel the ruin and devastation.
Cloud Retainer.
Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved many people. So sad that she can't recall any of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xingqiu. Thank you so much for your help.
It's no
Thank
problem at
you.
all. Safe travels.
Of course. What she said actually relates to it. The heavens above Wangshuin is like this very tall tree house in one of the tallest places in Liyue. Also the river she was talking about could be Xianyun Vale, north of Jordan Karst. I forget what the last place was though. Meet up with Madame Ping. Not much further away than where we already are.
Unleash! Manifest!
I love this little area with the water. It's so pretty. Like, I wish more just water was existed in like normal cities. Like, just more nature would slay so hard.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Ooh, that's a pretty little CD.
Oh, thank you.
Made out of like fancy Xianyun Vale jade.
Straight word, but Ping, what has amused you so?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your counsel on a personal matter.
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you're making me a little nervous. What is it?
Well, the inquiry is as such. Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor, not unlike the one that you yourself lead?
It does not require as much as you may think. Still, do you mean that...
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters. Have you unearthed any useful details?
Xingqiu has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yuendai have joined up with us again.
Okay.
Do not be troubled, young lady. Here, have some tea.
Ugh, I love how kind everyone's being about the whole situation.
Thank you so
This
much.
is really a rough situation.
What do you think, Chuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. Maybe that's my grandpa. I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in our attic full of a bunch of weird sigils.
Seems like the stories were on the right track.
I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
Yeah.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweetness in this cup. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains, thoroughly one with nature and at peace.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among friends.
Thank you.
Let's rest here for a little while then.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Of course, sweetie.
Sure
What is
thing.
it?
What would you like to know?
I feel like, I don't know. I need to, like, protect
I
my
have a
children.
secret I want to tell you. Let's go talk over there.
Okay. I'm curious and a little scared, gonna be honest. Can I still be heard?
What's wrong, Xianyun? Well...
Yeah, we're good.
I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant, but are you guys all adepti in disguise?
Oh! About that.
Why do you say that?
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Xianyun call herself an adeptus.
Oh, must have been a slip of the tongue. Xianyun, since you were the one who, misspoke, maybe you can explain to Xiyu here what you really meant by that.
One is indeed an adeptus. Is that of some concern to you?
Huh?
I knew it.
You don't sound surprised at all.
One time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crane.
That's her.
I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white crane flew down from the sky. She put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I was already back in my bed and my fever was gone.
Look at you go, Cloud
really wanted
Retainer,
to thank her,
slaying the day
But I was
regularly.
too sleepy to stay awake, so I never got the chance.
Aw,
So,
poor baby.
I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an Adeptus like that?
She's standing right here.
Pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are blue and white and black and brown. Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Never has one met an adeptus with such features. One surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment that oft results from narrative accounts.
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then? Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway. All I really want is to help Granny recover her memories. I'm really grateful for all your help.
Leave it to us. Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one.
Yeah, we
Let's
should get something. Ugh, I love
I'll
Xianyun.
go get Granny.
Something about it just feels right, you know? To Wangshu Inn. Should I snatch up my commission rewards while we're here? Why not? Why not? While we're in the area, might as well snatch those up. I feel like no matter what position I'm in, I am uncomfortable, or I am too comfortable. See, this is why I prefer streaming at my mom's house or my dad's house right now. I vastly prefer streaming at my mom's house because at my mom's house, I have this pink chair with a backrest. But at my dad's house, I don't have any chairs with a backrest. So my only options are to hunchback or to lay down, which both are not great options for streaming. So I kind of wanted to wait until tomorrow when I would be at my mom's, but I would only really have time today because of everything going on tomorrow. So, sadly, I had to do it here at my dad's house, which sucks, because I really wanted to do it at my mom's, because then I would have been comfortable, because I could have had my blanket around me on my really comfy chair with a backrest, and I wouldn't need to worry, but, you know, It's fine. You win some, you lose some.
Oh, Feastos are...
Gaming commission rewards. I really want Xianyun, but I'm probably not going to use her for plunging attacks. I'm like, why wouldn't I use her for plunging attacks? Plunging attacks are not my favorite style of play. However, I like Xianyun, so I'm still going to use her. She's still an amazing healer. In my opinion, she's probably the best healer for Farina. Because of the way all of her healing is full party. Because of that, she just provides a lot to Farina as a unit. And I think that's really cool. So I don't think she necessarily needs to be on a plunging attacker. You can just use her as a dedicated healer and animo applicator, because you can just do a quick normal attack to swirl something.
Wang Shu Inn. Wang Shu Inn.
Anything?
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Come on.
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can always spot a bird that's been left behind by its flock. I believe I used to have a room here. It had a window. Yes, I spent a lot of time looking out that window. Which room was it again? Let me look.
I'll come with.
Okay. Where are we going?
I'm still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar with this place, that must mean she lived here, right? Wait, huh? Whoa! Shell, what are you doing here all of a sudden? You scared the living daylights out of Paimon!
Yeah.
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look. If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. I suppose there's no cause for concern. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form.
You've met her in this form before?
I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the Archon War.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang Continuous Fire Mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
An impressive invitation.
Paimon knows her all too well.
Ha!
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as her skill in mechanics. The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn, only speaking when she had to activate her sigils.
A Cloud Retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it.
Yeah.
Well, what happened after that? If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you decide to take up your bird form again?
Yeah.
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape? When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world, a mortal form is hardly the most fitting of choices.
Fair,
After
honestly.
the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor, and always in her avian form. Although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago when she decided to don her human form. I believe it was for the purpose of...
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Granny, are you okay?
back then, at this place,
What?
Perhaps this conversation should end here. I shall take my leave now.
Okay,
Should
see
you
you,
encounter
Xiao.
any trouble, you need only call my name. However, given that you are traveling with Cloud Retainer, I trust you are in good hands.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Everyone,
Dramatic.
I think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Really? Talk about it. Say it out loud. Speak it.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
A long time ago, I stayed here to recuperate from my illness.
Oh.
So what Shinto said was true! You did fall ill! Was that why you went into hiding?
I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember the name of my illness. The only thing I can remember is that it took a great toll on me, and there was no cure for it. I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. I'd come to every once in a while and stare at the migrating birds outside the window. It was a solemn sight. I remember crying, but I'm not even sure I knew why. One day, I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle of soul-revitalizing tea pills. He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full recovery. My illness remained dormant for several decades after that.
So the dementia you're suffering from now is actually...
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades...
Sorry for spacing out a little bit.
That what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago? And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check? Paimon's brain kinda hurts. Do you remember anything else?
I'm sorry, I don't. Oh, if only I wasn't so useless.
Hey, you're not useless. You've done so much for me. Watched me grow up. Raised me. How could you say that about yourself?
Oh, fret not, dear child. Granny was just a bit frustrated. That's all.
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's past is always superior to not finding anything at all. Let us make haste to the next location.
Next location. Next location. Oh, why don't we go to the area north of Dwayun Karst next? There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? Oh, Paimon's got it. Let's check out the houses in the area first. After all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right? Oh, Paimon's really got her thinking cap on today. At this rate, we'll recover all of Granny Wendai's memories in no time.
Sorry about that. I spaced out a little bit for a hot second. Okay. Give me a second. Sorry. Spaced out a bit. for a little bit, but I need to take a quick break. It'll be as quick as possible. I just need a second. Since we're kind of in the halfway point, at least I assume,
The musket is
I'm going to take a break. It's going to be about 30 minutes at most.
The latter trait is far more
I
useful.
promise I will take the shortest amount possible. Sorry for spacing out towards the end there. Towards the end of